right in that playoff mix at this event, although we're still early times, but you got to feel good about the way the team stepped up today.
Yeah, it's a good start. We really struggled in the first game. We had trouble catching onto the ice. Brad played really well, so it wasn't the start we wanted in the first game, but rebounding with 2 wins is putting us in a good spot where we can maybe afford probably one more loss. We really needed that rebound after the first game.
Yeah. I'm asking teams with new lineups a little bit about this, and from your perspective, obviously, playing against Kevin all these years, and now you're on the inside, the inner sanctum of Team Cooey. Have you gained any kind of different appreciation for Kevin and Benny, for that matter, and Colton as players that you maybe didn't have before?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you kind of, you're always battling against them, and you maybe... it's good to be, battling with them. They're great battlers. They've won everything there is in this game, and they're great teammates. And I'm having a lot of fun with the new lineup, and it's really enjoyable out there right now.
Right. In terms of the style of game, I mean, do you find it's fitting right in your wheelhouse, so to speak? Yeah,
I think so. I think that Kevin and I, we've had a beer or two off the ice and talked curling a little bit, and I think we see the game much the same way. And our transition thoughts in games, I think, are very similar, and that makes it a little bit easier as well to maybe to jive early and have some good team dynamic. It's made it a pretty easy transition.
So there's a big difference between 2-2 and 0-2, and I can see it on your face right now. It's a big relief to get a couple wins like that.
Yeah, we had to win 2 today to give ourselves a chance. I mean, 2 losses is already putting ourselves in a tough spot, so to have any chance at making the playoffs, we knew we needed to win 2 today, and they were both absolute battles, and we had to grind through them, but it was a big bounce back for us.
When you contrast what went wrong yesterday with what went right today, is there anything you can put your finger on specifically?
We weren't that far off yesterday, but we were just missing things and we were doing it the wrong way. So today we just felt we had a better handle on the draw weight from both a thrower's standpoint, a sweeper's standpoint. I felt better about putting the broom down. It was just like we needed to shake a little bit of rust off yesterday or something. And today we were back to kind of our normal selves. So we felt a lot more confident, and just that leads to a lot more shots.
That said, did you have a good sleep last night, or were you sitting in bed replaying shots?
I haven't been sleeping great in Estevan in general, but I don't know why. Like, there's no reason for it. But no, I mean, it's a tough day, but you kind of go, okay, well, this is what we got to do. We got to come out. So in a way, it's kind of good because you've got nothing to lose anymore. If you lose another game, you're out. So you kind of put it all out there, and that's all you can do. So in a way, it's kind of a good thing. But yeah, it was big for us.
Yeah, not your first rodeo. You've played in C event before.
Oh yeah, we've grinded through a few this year even already. So, and you have to be a grinding team to be a team that wins consistently, and we knew that, and that was a focus. And so to be able to come out and grind a couple wins out today was big.
You're in the tiebreaker at the worst, so you're playing past the round robin. That's job one, and I know you guys still feel like you got work to do, though.
Yeah, absolutely, and as anyone knows out here, it can go the other way just as quickly. So for us now, the key is going to be just relaxing and enjoying a little bit of time off, and then refocusing and getting ready for another tough day tomorrow. So mission accomplished in terms of obviously the first 2 days. We've been playing well, getting some breaks, but just being really patient, sticking to a lot of the things that we've talked to going into this event, and that we want to focus on last event, and we've been doing a really good job of that. So far so good.
All things considered, having to bring Mark in, are you surprised at 4-0?
If I'm being honest, probably not. We thought that as much as it could go the other way, there's really no pressure. I mean, I think at the end of the day, people may have thought that obviously bringing a new person in, it can be really difficult. But I think bringing Mark in, it's been really easy. Kind of as I mentioned, a few other people, we play a very similar style to Mark. In terms of the weights and how we throw it, it's all very, very close, and we're absorbing as much as we can from Mark, because I think at the same time we can learn. So it's been a lot of fun. We're enjoying ourselves right now, and obviously playing well at the same time. So it's great.
You and Ryan, I mean, I don't think people understand how tough it is to get used to a delivery and how a guy releases the rock, but it's pretty well known Mark is one of the purest release he just throws it the same every time, and that's made the transition pretty easier, not pretty, but
yeah, exactly. And so I mean, it's easy for us to judge a rock. I think Mark throws it very similar to us, with a little bit of an arm bend, a little bit of an extension. It's very pure. It's easy to judge, and so he's made it easy on us. And I think from a sweeping standpoint too, we've enjoyed sweeping with Mark. Obviously, he can judge rock with the best of them, and so it's been I think an easy transition for Mark as well, or having Mark and to being able to judge and just overall been really good.
I imagine that's a load off the shoulders.
Yes, a huge load off our shoulders. It's always nice to get the first win, especially with the start that we had, and we knew that we weren't playing as bad as the results were, so for us to play another good game and finally get a win out of it feels really good.
I don't think a lot of people, casual fans, understand how frustrating that sensation is when you know you're playing well enough to win and just not getting the results.
Yeah, we're looking back on our games, and it's really just, like, if we can even find one shot a game, those one key shots, I think we'd be in a really different position right now, and we managed to find them in that game. We controlled the scoreboard. We had hammer in the right ends, and then hope we make our last one, and in that case we did.
Well, and from a skip's perspective, it's fun to make a shot like that to win a game too, and it sends you off into the night a lot happier than the reverse of that.
Yeah, I kind of was prepared to throw that. I knew after my first one was a bit of a miss, but I at least opened up that double, and I saw it as soon as I came into the back of the house. I knew she was throwing the guard on the other side, so I just kind of had a bit of time to prepare for the fact that that's the shot I'm going to be throwing. And Lori had thrown one to the wing earlier that end, so I had a really good sense of what it was going to do, and just tried to take a deep breath, let it go, and let the other girls do the rest.
So what's next? It's all in your hands, obviously. Go out and win and hope, I guess.
Yeah, that kept us alive at least. If we can win 3 more, we might get ourselves into a tiebreaker, and so just keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully we'll get ourselves into something at the end of the week.
So, I mean, we're 9 months removed from it, but was there a little extra on the line for you in that game? Did you feel anything more energy playing him again?
A little bit. I mean, we play so many of the top guys all the time these days that it just feels like another curling game. But, we'd had 2 battles with him at the Brier, and especially that last one stung for a couple months after that. So it was nice to come back. This is the first time we've played them this year, and just put together a good game. I think just about everything happened that game for both teams. So to slog through that and be able to have a draw to the 8-foot to win, we were obviously pretty happy. Yeah,
well, like you said, a lot happened in that game, and let's talk about the fourth end. You just weren't aware what was going on, I guess. It didn't it slipped away.
Yeah, it was a little awkward of a situation. The end before, they had ran our clock for probably 20 or 30 seconds while Team Gushu was throwing. So we sort of were just coming off that experience. And then in the fourth end, we did talk about a few situations, but in all honesty, we didn't really have anyone watching the clock. So we should have caught that too. And then right after they pulled my last rock and Brad threw his, all of a sudden the clocks were malfunctioning, and we didn't play the whole next end with clocks. So you can sort of take from that what you will. It didn't feel great.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's up to us to be watching the clock. And even if we were low, we should have known. And that's, I guess, the one thing we can take from that.
And with all that said, the team doesn't lose its focus against, a 2-time defending Tim Hortons Brier champion. You play that last 5 ends, and you have the scoreboard in your favor, and you manage it. And that says something about your team too, to not lose its focus despite all that.
Yeah, that was as rocky of a moment as we've had in a little while, but I certainly wasn't too upset. I mean, at the end of the day, I was owning the fact that our team should have known better. Right. Whether or not we were missing time or not didn't really matter. And like you said, we were always a little bit ahead on the scoreboard, whether we were up with the hammer, tied with the hammer, a couple up without the hammer. So that makes it easier too to bounce back. I mean, after that end, we were still 1 up with playing 5, played a good 5th end, and getting that deuce back, I think, really helped just get us set straight again.